This candle here you obviously recognise as bullish based on the work we did in previous videos. The bulls have driven the price from the open near the low of the candle here and closed it up near the high of the candle here. Clearly bullish, right? However, consider for a second a single candle on a daily chart. If you drop down to, say, an hourly chart, that same daily time frame might now be made up of 6 hourly candles if you're analysing stocks. If it's Forex, it might be made up of 24 hourly candles. In any case, that same price movement that is represented by one candle can also be represented by a greater number of candles from a smaller time frame chart. Here in this example, let's say this bullish candle is from a daily chart of your favourite stock. You would be able to drop down to the hourly chart and see the inner workings of this candle. For example, here we have 6 hourly candles representing that same move from the daily open down here to the daily close here. This process of breaking a candle down into its component parts is called candle development. Candle development gives you greater insight into the sentiment within the candle. For example, let's compare 3 different scenarios that could lead to this same large bullish candle you see on the left. In this example, the first one that we've already looked at, the bullish candle was produced by a single bullish push from the open up to the highs, which then stalled at some fairly solid upper resistance. Whereas in this example, the same candle develops from a different combination of hourly candles. In this case, the initial bullish move experiences some bearish retaliation as the bears push it back to around the 0.618 retracement for those Fibonacci fans before the bulls take back control and push the price up into the close. A slightly different scenario to the first with regards to the sentiment of the single candle. And here's another. In this case, the same bullish candle develops simply from price meandering casually for the full range from low to high or open to close, without any rapid bullish thrust or bearish rejection of prices. Once again, a slightly different picture to the previous examples. Let's look at another example. This candle here, is it bullish or bearish? Well, it's a little difficult to tell. The body is showing a slight victory of the bulls over the bears based on the green colouring. But it's a very small range body, and there's significant rejection of higher prices, showing strength in the bears, and significant rejection of lower prices, showing strength in the bulls. Really, no side can claim a victory based on this candle alone. Could candle development perhaps provide some insight? Breaking this candle down into component parts may show, for example, an initial bullish move that is rapidly rejected, but then falls into an area of clear support. The bears then are exhausted and overcome by the bulls, who are able to push the price back to the vicinity of the open. While still not a clear victory either way, the process of candle development has given us clues as to potential areas of intraday support and resistance, and is showing the bulls clearly able to get the final upper hand leading into the close of the candle. Contrast that with the same candle developing from a slightly different set of shorter time frame candles. In this case, the exact opposite. An initial bearish move rapidly rejected by the bulls, who drive the price all the way up to a clear area of resistance. The bulls meet significant opposition here, enough to exhaust all the bulls and then drive the price back to close just above the open. Once again, we've got great insight into potential intraday support and resistance, and can see the bears in this case getting the final upper hand.